Okay, so now I mentioned this in the last video, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to put the hub and sprocket onto this motor. So to do that, we need either one of your two hubs. So let me go to my hubs folder here and pull in my hubs. Now on our hubs, this hub, it's not quite as good of a hub. We did end up using that on this one side just because of space. Otherwise, it's going to be spaced way out there, and I didn't want to do that spaced out there that far. But this hub is actually a little bit better hub. It's a little bit deeper, a little bit stronger. So I'm going to use that one on the motor. So I'm going to pull in this hub. Once I pull that hub in here, I'm going to rotate that around. Let me see if I can get a hold of it here. I actually want it facing this way, as I'm trying to show you right here, with this little portion of it here facing towards the inside of the bot. Okay, not what I wanted to do. Let me try that again. Did I get it straight there? I think I did. I'm going to go okay right there. All right. So what I'm going to do here with this is I'm going to use my join command, or my joint command. I'm going to put it from this side here, I think, right there. That surface of it. And I'm going to put it tight into here. And then basically here what I need to do is I need to make sure that this lines up with my sprocket. I'm just going to start with an offset of, how much? Let's just try 0.2 and see what that looks like. 0.2 and go okay. Alright, so now what I really got to do is I've got to look just at this nice and straight. Looking at the straight on view here is where I clicked there. Wow, it looks like I'm going to have to move that in just a little bit further because I want this gear to line up with that hub. I might have to go almost tight with that. So let me go back here to my constraint on my hub there. I have that at 0.2. I'm going to go just down to maybe 0.05 even. A very small amount there. Let me look back straight on this. Ooh. Now that looks pretty close there. I'm going to twist that to the side just a little bit. What I'm really looking at is I want this face of this to line up with this side of the gear. And I'm really close right there. I think that's going to work close enough. So now, this isn't the way you would typically do this, of mounting this gear on this side, but we do have to line up with this gear. And our other option is sticking everything way out there and making everything sticking out further on the shaft. It's better to keep these as tight in on the shaft as you can because all the weight of your robot's setting on there. So now we're going to stick in that other sprocket. So we're going to go here to our main folder, down to my sprockets. And on this one, I want to gear this so the robot's going slower and has more power. So I'm going to go and pull in the 16-tooth sprocket. Some of these things, I'm getting a couple of errors here. I'm not going to worry about those errors right now. It's where I edited the one of the wheels, and it's having a little bit of an issue with it. So I'm not going to worry about trying to solve that right now. I just want to keep going and showing you guys how to do some of these things. So I'm going to rotate that thing up there, 90 degrees. Okay. And now I'm going to put that sprocket into place. I'm going to make this side of the sprocket set in tight here on that little shoulder there. Got to get right around there too. All right, so it's going to sit on this bottom surface of the shoulder right there. Make sure that pulls up into place correctly. Yes, it does. Okay. And now let's once again look at this. Maybe I'll look from the top view here and see what I've got. I'll pull it over here to the edge. You know, honestly, looking at that, if we look how this lines up right there with that edge of it, it looks like I do need to come out just a little bit farther. So I'm going to go back to that constraint that I had in there, which is this one right here. And I say constraint, joint. And let's go in maybe 0.1. Try that. And I'm going to go ahead and go back here and look at the top of this. Pull it over here to the edge. Oh, that looks like it lines up really nicely. This is something that in the drawing, it does not have to be perfect. Obviously, when you're lining it up on your robot, you're going to want that to be a little bit more accurate. But those two line up pretty good with each other. A chain would go on there nicely in between those. We're not going to put a chain on here in Fusion because that would be just more time than what it's worth. Okay, so now that's the drive for this motor, or for this wheel. Now we're going to put this next one in. To do that, we're just going to bring in a motor mount. We're going to make this one direct drive. So I'm going to go back to my main folder. I'm going to come down to my motor mounts. Pull in my motor mount. Remember, this is the one that's rotated in there. Kind of weird that we kind of just have to get this as close as we can. And then I'm going to pull it over there a little bit closer and see what I can do. I think I'm just going to go right there. All right, I'm going to go ahead and go back here to my top view. I'm going to use my rotate on there, so I'm going to come down here and find it in my list. We got it there pretty close. I'm going to come down here in my list. I'm going to use my move and copy. And now we're just going to rotate this a little bit, pulling it down into place. Kind of weird how we have to pull that into place, but zigzagging back and forth a little bit here. And play with rotating that. So let's see here. So I'm going to go somewhere in between 0 and 5 degrees. So I'm going to go maybe like 3. Oh, 3 was not it. Maybe it was -3. There we go. That's what it was. That really looks pretty darn close. Close enough that I think we can line that up on there. So I'm going to go ahead and go, okay. That's really looking pretty good there. And now let's put that into place. To put this into place, we're going to mount right back here. We're going to try to make it line up pretty close to our other motor, or other wheel, I should say. I might look straight in on this right-hand side. And right about there, it's going to be the center of it lined up with that. It's going to be pretty close. Now I don't know for sure where this lines up on my motors. Oh, or on my bolt holes. Right there, it lines up nicely with that set of bolt. So I'm going to line it up right there. And I think that's going to be close enough. So I'm going to go joint, line it in the center of that hole. Ooh, hard to see where I'm going to there. To the center of that hole. Okay. Whoop. I had a little bit of an error. I'm going to see what that is. Okay, so it looks like I have several joints that are causing me some issues down here. So it's going to take me a little bit of time to get those solved. So I'm going to go and solve those, and I'm going to upload this video for now on there. Just if you want to work forward on your own, if you're not having these problems with these joints. Once this motor mounts into place where we talked about just a second ago, making it line up with this other wheel, you're going to put your motor in there. Once your motor's in there, you're going to mount just a wheel to that motor. You're going to attach your wheel to a hub and get your motor put there into place. And that's going to be your other motor for the drive of this robot. So if you want to work forward on your own on that one, that's great. And then this robot will be done. Good luck, and there you go.